versus self-maxing. Now, I've always been into game pickup in rizz, and I've actually never actually put in loads of work when it comes to it, but I've been a massive believer in it, and I've made a video on that before. And in the last year, I've got heavy into Casey Zander's content. I've always followed his stuff, his sort of red pill stuff. It's really good. And sort of this year, he's leveled up massively. His content is literally leading in this industry. Like, nobody's talking about the stuff he's speaking about. And what does he kind of say for the most part? He kind of says, forget game, forget rizz, forget pickup, forget chasing girls. You want to flip that dynamic. Consider yourself a king. Would the king go and approach girls? No, he wouldn't. Would the king be double messaging, chasing girls, thinking about them all day? No. The king sits back and the girls come to him. It's quite a deep topic and it's nuanced and there's loads that go into it. But he come to this conclusion by constantly looking at the guys that get the most girls, and they do see themselves as a king. They, for the most part, you do get these players that are just, they're chasing girls left, right, and they're putting in so much work with the chasing. They're getting loads of girls. But, the guys that you want to be, where you're sitting back and the girls are coming to you, that is ideally what you want. That is a better dynamic when it comes to men and women as well. And let me tell you about my journey. So since 2012, I found RSD, Real Social Dynamics, and their teachings were amazing. They taught you how, in an interaction, to go and get girls, whether that's on a night or in the day. And that works. Game pickup rizz works. I've been doing sales for the last 3 years, and that just cemented it for me. You work on your charisma, your social skills, your networking, and your looks can kind of become irrelevant when you're that good at it. And I very quickly learnt this early on, because I'd have a few drinks, get rid of all my insecurities and my inhibitions. My confidence would go through the roof, and that is 90% of game. Just not caring and just going in there and saying what you want to say. That's 90% of it. But that's so hard to do sober when you're so restricted mentally by yourself. And I would be getting girls at the time that I either couldn't get sober because I was so restricted, or they were way out of my league just because I was a vibe having a laugh and I'd have a drink. So I knew that I could unlock this part of me that would make me get girls so much easier. But it was only in the recent years when I moved to a party resort, become a club promoter and a sales rep, selling events to, young party people, including loads of hot girls, that I realised that Casey Zanders is 100% right. You can invest so much time and effort into rizz game and pickup, which, by the way, takes an unbelievable amount of work to progress, just like a sales job. You need to go all in on it to get the sort of return on investment you're looking for. And I was never really good looking, so it was always a bit of an uphill battle with the kind of girls that I liked. And I do objectively like the hotter kinds of girls. We're talking the 8, 9s and 10s. And I'm big into bodybuilding. When I was all big and bulked up, they'd second guess me. They wouldn't be that interested. And even if I did have a drink or I'd worked on my social skills and my rizz and I was really good, it was an uphill battle. And it was only when I got dialed in and really lean and maxed out my social media profiles, and I'd got with quite enough girls that I got rid of all neediness and I didn't really care. That's when I started getting the higher quality girls, but in a way where the dynamic was in my favour massively. So instead of me chasing girls, them kind of liking my vibe, slightly attracted to me, I'm not chasing girls at all. I'm giving them that slight bit of initial interest, maybe reciprocating their indications of interest when they're looking at me and stuff. And I might go over there, spark up a quick convo. But unlike 99% of guys, I'm not showing thirst or desperate for them. I might get their socials and leave it there and let them look at my socials. But well, this guy's got a very interesting life. Or I'm relying on dating apps. And just like my socials, I've maxed them out now. And I'm getting an unbelievable amount of matches. I could go on a date whenever I want. And I've done both sides now. I've done the game to pick up the rizz, and I've done what Casey Zander sort of says, where you want to level up as a man to the point where you're building that raw attraction from them, and your dating profiles or your social media or your life in general sort of makes you come across, to them at least, they perceive you as this social guy that everybody likes, and you've got that raw attraction. So what I would say is, definitely go the Casey Zanders route. Hyperfixate on your looks. Do whatever you need to do. I've had a hair transplant. Sort your teeth out. Get those facial reconstruction changes. I honestly believe that. And get dialed in. Learn to diet. Dieting is very hard. It's very easy to lose weight, but it's very hard to keep it off because all the hyperpalatable foods are basically like drugs. But you find a way, and I could help you with that. Find a way to get dialed in so your face is nice and chiseled. And then I've made videos on my TikTok and my YouTube. Find a way to max out your dating apps and your social apps, social media, so you look the part. And then, if you are like me and you're socially awkward or whatever, then you might need to go work on your social skills. But I don't recommend, like a lot of these pickup guys, go to the shopping centre or go on a night out sober, because you're just awkward and it's too much. But if you go do what I did, and I've just made a video on this, you go get a job in a party resort being a club promoter or an events rep, a sales rep for these events in these clubs, then you're forced to go and talk to girls, and it's much more natural, and you do it for a couple summers and you're where you need to be. I'm not no Casanova when it comes to game, rizz or pickup. I still would struggle to walk into a nightclub without a drink to go and talk to all the girls. But I'm at the point now where I've made myself look good. If a girl shows me interest, I can literally just go over there, have a normal conversation. She's already got loads of raw attraction for me. I'll get her on the socials, sees my socials, like, whoa, this guy's cool. And it's almost a done deal every single time. It's a cheat code now. So take it from me, I'm 30 years old. I've studied game like my whole life, like a little nerd in my bedroom, watching every single real social dynamics video you can think of, studying all the people wherever I go, in the clubs, in the party resorts, the club promoters, the naturals. And I can tell you this, yes, there's a degree of that you need to get some social skills going to the point where you're not a weirdo and you're awkward, just natural, normal. And then you should put all your other focus on leveling up as a man, finances, looks, career, social life. Your social life, you need to bring a girl into your life and she's like, well, he's got loads of friends, he's doing loads of cool stuff. And I achieved all of this by moving abroad to a party resort, making a whole new life, all new friends, and it's completely changed my life. So I'm not saying completely disregard game and rizz. It is something you need to work on, and you can even work on that with a sales job, like I said. But put hyperfixate on making yourself look as good as you can. Get good at taking photos and videos and maxing out your social media. And your life, it might take a few years, but your life is going to be so much better.